Biden's final push to support Ukraine ahead of Trump's presidency. In the closing weeks of his presidency, Joe Biden is accelerating efforts to bolster Ukraine's defense capabilities, providing substantial aid packages to strengthen its position before Donald Trump assumes office on January 20th. The latest $5.87 billion assistance package includes three components: $1.25 billion in military aid drawn from U.S. reserves, $1.22 billion via the Ukraine Security Assistance Initiative, USAI, where weapons are purchased from manufacturers, and $3.4 billion in direct budgetary support provided through the U.S. Treasury Department. The Department of Defense is delivering artillery rounds, rockets, and armored vehicles to ensure Ukraine's resilience this winter. Under my leadership, the U.S. will maximize support for Ukraine during my remaining time in office, Biden declared in a statement. Recent aid announcements illustrate Biden's commitment. On December 2nd, the U.S. unveiled a $725 million military package through the Presidential Drawdown Authority, PDA, enabling swift transfers of equipment like ammunition and air defense systems from U.S. reserves. Days later, another $988 million in USAI-funded aid was announced, including drones and HIMARS rocket ammunition. On December 12, Secretary of State Antony Blinken pledged an additional $500 million package with drones, artillery shells, and armored vehicles. Since the conflict's onset, Biden's administration has activated the PDA 55 times, delivering $65 billion in security assistance to Ukraine. Changes in U.S. policy on weapons restrictions. In a significant policy shift, the Biden administration recently approved Kyiv's use of U.S.-supplied long-range missiles to strike military targets deep inside Russian territory. This decision marks a departure from earlier hesitations, driven by fears of provoking Russia or escalating the conflict into a nuclear confrontation. Jake Sullivan, Biden's national security advisor, explained, President Biden's priority is to position Ukraine as strongly as possible during his remaining time in office. Challenges looming under Trump's administration. Biden's departure raises uncertainty about continued U.S. support for Ukraine. Trump, who has been critical of extensive aid to Kyiv, campaigned on promises to end the war, but has offered limited specifics on his approach. Advisors to Trump suggested his administration might increase arms deliveries only if Ukraine agrees to negotiate with Moscow, potentially ceding territory under Russian control. Trump's cabinet selections have fueled speculation about a shift in U.S. foreign policy. Figures such as Vivek Ramaswamy and Tulsi Gabbard, perceived as sympathetic to Moscow, have been celebrated in Russian media. Meanwhile, Ukraine and its European allies are bracing for potential pressure from the new administration to seek a ceasefire deal. At a rally in Georgia, Trump criticized the scale of U.S. assistance, remarking, "Every time Zelensky visits, he gets another $100 billion. This war will never end unless I'm president." Strategic calculations for a post-Biden era. With time running out, Biden is determined to provide Ukraine with the resources necessary to sustain its defense. Analysts note that Biden's aid surge reflects an understanding that Kyiv will likely face greater challenges than Moscow under the incoming administration. Keir Giles, a senior fellow at Chatham House, commented, Biden recognizes the critical importance of strengthening Ukraine before Trump takes office. Kyiv is likely to encounter significant pressure once the political dynamics shift. By leveraging the final weeks of his presidency, Biden aims to solidify Ukraine's military and financial footing, ensuring it is better equipped to navigate the uncertainties of a post-Biden geopolitical landscape.